So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Happy Bringling. Today we are going to talk about a very important session, Art of Managing Risks in 2022. Now, either you are an individual or running an organization or working in any organization, there are risks everywhere. And we all are living in a VUCA world. This VUCA world has been, kind of, giving us an issue, especially at the time the COVID has taken over, even though it had been there, but a lot of things have changed with respect to volatility and, the adaptability requirements of the scenario. And for this, I would like to invite Daman Sood, and first of all, thanking him for taking this session to talk about how to manage risks and how it could help at an individual level as well as at an organization level. So thank you so much, Daman. Would love you to introduce yourself a bit before starting the webinar.
Great, thanks. Thanks, Ansha. Good evening, everyone, once again. While we have organized this is free. I'm saying first one from me from Bringle platform, but no event, whether paid or free, will be successful without you, all the participants. So you deserve a big hand in the beginning itself. Please remind me if I do not do at the end once again. I would like to start by sharing my screen. And someone please confirm it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes, Daman.
Great. And a challenge, we forgot to do the test in Teams. I was about to play a video and the audio may not come very well. Wow. I'm doing unshare for a moment and let me check if there is an option like that. I don't see. So my apologies if the audio doesn't come well. It's not a big video, long video. So by looking at the picture itself, you'll understand what's happening. No worries. Sharing once again. Include computer sound. I found it. Great. But I'm not able to. Let me do an experiment. I was using an external speaker mic, which is causing problem. I'm getting an error message here. Can you still hear me? All of you? No.
Yes.
We can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
We can hear you clearly.
Yes, we can.
All right, great. Now let me attempt that once again then. Yes, sound option has been selected. Great. Thanks for bearing with me. Come to sharing my screen again. Screen visible? Someone say yes, no, please.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah.
Great. So welcome to this evening. The topic we have kept is the art of managing risks. Today, tomorrow, the day after, fun. This is how I will say. Quickly about me, and Ansha had asked me to introduce. The name is Daman Sood. I'm a trainer, auditor, assessor, author, speaker, XYZ practitioner. Especially, I would like to mention that I have dirtied my hands myself. Actually, I did this before becoming a trainer and auditor. I did it myself. I'm a fellow of BCI, fellow of BCS, CBCI, over 35 years in the industry, 16 plus years in resilience domains. So operational resilience, organizational resilience, business continuity management, risk, crisis management, crisis communication. That's all that I know. Over 10,000 hours in teaching and training. I'm an IEEE ambassador as well. I have won awards multiple times nationally and globally. There's a lot to learn from each other. This is just 1 hour we have kept. Actually, I will attempt to finish in 45 minutes so that if there are any questions, I'm able to pick up those questions also from you all. So this event, this session finishes in 1 hour. Learning and sharing is forever. Please stay in touch. Even if there are any questions after this session, please feel free to write to me. The response is guaranteed. I'm a lifelong learner myself. Even in today's session, I'll pick up some points for sure. What I'm saying, Paul 1, but I'm requesting you to type in your responses in the chat box. And Ansha, my request, if you can read the responses, some of the responses, not all responses. Where will you rate yourself with respect to knowledge in risk management? And you have 5 options. You can pick anyone. Just type in the number, that'll be enough for me. Beginner, professional, specialist, expert, and master or master. You can pick only one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Rajesh and Manish has said 2. Perhaps Simran has said 1.
Correct. Thank you very much. I've
Another
built in such
another 1 3 for 2. So there are
correct
4
specialist.
2 and 1 1.
Right. Okay.
And 1 is
And I
3
wouldn't
as well.
mind even if you ask me the question, perhaps I wouldn't pick up 5 myself. Right. I know there are people who are much better than me in risk. Today we couldn't have them. That's our luck. I'm not saying bad luck. All right. So let's have a quick look at this video. I'll stop after starting just to do that check that audio video both are clear. What is this? Because we have kept that to be the topic. Audio video clear?
No, audio is not coming.
Audio is not clear, but I stopped it. Let me play again. Still not clear?
No audio is not there.
No
No.
one?
Not here.
I think you have to share computer audio
I
from the
did that.
settings.
Yes, I did that. Let me.
So Daman, my request is please go ahead with whatever the way it is. Let's not, kind of. I think it is written also. We can continue with the video.
Can you see my screen again? The video?
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Can you see my screen back again? Someone say yes, no, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So quick question.
Yes.
Again, you have the authority to unmute yourself. At least 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Did this video help, or did it
Uh,
create
I'll
or added more to confusion?
added more to confusion.
Great. I like that. Anyone else, please?
Yeah,
Anyone
same
else,
here.
please?
Same here.
Same
Manish.
here. All right. Okay. Don't worry about that. That's what my suggestion is. And when I said I'm going to be talking about art, which means it cannot be learned in 45 minutes. You need to practice it for long. When I say art, my suggestion is first one, which is not going to come on the screens, but I believe in that. And that's what my first input is. Always, please keep it simple. Whether it's effect or cause or objective, let it be on the paper first of all. If I do not admit that I have a risk, I will not be able to manage it. I will not be able to control it. The first step is identification. Keep it simple, please. For information, there is a standard ISO standard for risk management. The number is 31,000, ISO 31,000, and the current version is 2018 version. So if you wish, you can use it. It is not mandatory, but it's a good practice available. We can use it if we want. For those who understand a little more about certifications, about ISO standards, this is not a certifiable standard. Easiest that I believe everyone in the session will know is ISO 9001. Your organization can get certified to quality management system according to ISO 9001. So that is a certifiable standard. 31,000 is not a certifiable. This is a set of guidelines available to us. And there are so many. So quickly, I wanted to show the linkage of risk management with other management systems. So 9001, I was talking about. 14,001, which is about environment management system. 27,001, which is information security management system. 22,301, we have looking at this one now, business continuity management system, and ISO 22316, which is about organizational resilience. Not a full list, but a good list to start with. That risk management is part of so many other management systems also, which adds to the importance of learning risk management. By the way, next question. Anyone who believes that he or she doesn't have a risk in life, raise hand, shout. I would like to see that face actually. If you can switch on your camera also while you shout. Anyone who believes that he, she doesn't have a risk in life. When I say life, this is personal life as well as professional life. In your organization, you do not have a risk. So I'm taking it to be no one raising hands, no one shouting at me. Changing the question. If there is anyone who believes that he, she doesn't have a risk in this session, in these next 45 minutes or so, when we are sitting together, shout please with your camera on. I believe we all agree. Ansha, I thought you were going to say you don't have. So we believe, we all agree that there is a risk in life every time. When we say managing, the art of managing risks, want to learn the risk. Second point I'm saying is also to learn lessons from animals. The story of the pigeon and the cat. When the pigeon sees the cat, it closes the eyes. Cat is not visible. It thinks there is no risk. Actually, for the cat, it becomes very easy to jump and eat. So let's not become pigeons in life ever. If there is a risk, let's say there is a risk, document, admit. Quickly, some terms related with risk management, and these are from ISO 31,000. Risk is defined as effect of uncertainty on objectives. So there is uncertainty in life every time. For me, I may lose power. I have a backup. I may lose internet connectivity. I have a backup. I may lose my laptop. I'll take some time to arrange another laptop. I do have, but I've not set it up immediately or ready. I may fall sick. So there are so many risks for me for this particular session itself. Risk management then is defined as coordinated activities to direct and control an organization with regard to risk. The moment we say the word coordinated, that means there will be many people. It's not only me, it's not only you, it will be we. There could be 2, there could be 20, there could be 200. But when there are so many people, then we need to coordinate the efforts. Interested party, in the past, we used to use the term called stakeholders. For about last 10 years, this new term has been introduced, just a replacement of stakeholders. Definition is a person or an organization that can be affected by, or perceive themselves to be affected by a decision or activity. There's a long discussion that we need to have around interested parties, how it is different from stakeholders, how it has changed, evolved over a period, right? So maybe the future webinar, I'll talk about interested parties only. But we understand in risk management, we'll have stakeholders, we'll have interested parties, various interested parties. So what is the risk source? Element which alone or combination in combination has the potential to give rise to a risk. I'm discussing only few, looking at the time that we have available with us today. Sorry, is there a question? The next term that comes is, many of us already would understand this, and I'm making this statement once again. There is always a risk in life. There will always be. The risk can never become zero. We cannot eliminate the risk. We can only manage. We can control. So what is the control? Measure that maintains and or modifies risk. That the level of risk doesn't go up. It is maintained. My intention is that it should go down for me. So that is the control. Consequences, outcome of an event affecting objectives. And likelihood, again, in the past, we might have used a term called probability. We use that less now, and we use likelihood, which is the chance of something happening. The likelihood of rain in Delhi today, at this point in time, I could say 0, low, 1 in 10, 1%, 10% chances, something like that. Simplest view of risk management when we are attempting to, or at least starting to learn the art of managing risks. Find or identify. Then evaluate, which is the product of likelihood and impact. If that risk takes place for me, how would it impact me? What is the impact on me? Impact on objectives, if you want to go by the definition, and then reduce. So 3 steps: identify, evaluate, and mitigate. This is the simplest view of risk management in personal lives or in our organizations. Repeatedly, identify, evaluate, mitigate. Identify all possible risks for you, but no one knows all in this world. So identify as many as possible. Some of us perhaps have gone through that software development lifecycle also. Some of us perhaps have been coders or developers or programmers in life, and there was a principle there to catch the defect as soon as possible in the life. If you catch it later, the cost of mitigation will be very high. Similarly, identify all possible risks. No one knows all, then as many as possible in the beginning. That's first step. Create a universe of risks for yourself. Then look at the likelihood and impact. Product will give you the value, risk value. That's evaluation you're doing. And then you start the mitigation or putting in controls. That was the simplest view. But if you want to go through ISO 31000, this picture taken from ISO 31000 defines a lot. So we will see their clauses, three clauses, sorry, clause 4, 5, and 6, which means 1, 2, 3 also are there, but I'm not showing those. Those are not actionable. There are some terms, definitions, etc. there. Clause 4 is all principles. At the core, we see value creation and protection. That's why we should do risk management. And then we see there are the principles: integrated, structured, and comprehensive, customized, inclusive, dynamic, best available information. Look at best available information, which means you may not have all, you may not have right, but the best that is available to you, please utilize that. Human cultural factors and continual improvement. Like any other management system, risk management also looks for continual improvement. So we can think of PDCA cycle comes into picture. The plan, do, check, and act cycle of continual improvement. Clause 5 is framework. At the core, we see leadership and commitment. Nothing moves. So now we are looking at the organization. In any organization, any program, the most critical success factor is the commitment of the top management or commitment of the leadership. So there is a lot of focus on that. We see components as design, implementation, evaluation, improvement, and integration. Integration with all other activities. And that's why that previous slide, interaction or relationship of risk management with some other management system was shown to you. If you look at the last one, clause 6, which is the process, you will see that simplest view is embedded. Simplest view was identify, evaluate, and mitigate. You will see that here. Scope, context, criteria needs to be seen, needs to be understood. My risk management, I'm organization A or ABC, and your risk management, your organization XYZ may be different because our contexts are different. Identification, analysis, evaluation, treatment, you see that. It is not also one-time activity, risk management. It has to be a cyclic, continuous journey activity. That's why there is monitoring and review also. A lot, because we saw coordination when there are so many parties involved, then coordination required. So communication and consultation also required. I do not know everything in the world, so I can take help from as simple as that. You may be an internal expert. You may be an external consultant also on risk management. And there has to be recording and reporting. So quickly, I have attempted to give you a view of risk management according to ISO 31000 also. Repeating, to begin with, keep it simple. Yeah, just 3 steps: identify, evaluate, and mitigate. No one is perfect in this world. Keep learning more, keep improving more, and start going according to 31,000 slowly over a period. Second question, and again, you can type in your answers 1, 2, 3, and I request Ansha once again to give me some views coming from the audience. What is your view about risk management, operational risk management, and enterprise risk management? Options are all are same. I do not know. I understand. The 3 are different. Type in the chat box, please. Keep it easy. Just type in 1, 2, 3. Only one option.
So Kaushik says two.
Okay,
Kaushik,
I do not know.
Anisha, Manish, Seema, Kumar, Anita, Anil, Rajesh, Vikas says 3. So all
Very
3
good.
except 1, which is 2.
Great. But number of responses have increased. I'm happy with that. Request everyone to do some exercise. I'm asking you to type in some exercise of your fingers. Good. Thank you very much. Risk management has been defined like this: coordinated activities to direct and control an organization with regard to risk. Definition taken from the standard that we have been talking about. Operational risk management I have picked up from Wikipedia. Oversight of operational risk, including the risk of loss resulting from inadequate or failed internal processes and systems, human factors, or external events. I'll once again say, keep it simple. We know in some industries, specifically in BFSI, especially in bank, there are departments separately operational risk department. To me, risk is risk. Keep it simple. Yes, we will have to act according to different requirements. Sometimes it's a requirement of a regulator. Sometimes it's a requirement of the industry segment itself. We can do that separately. And if we look at enterprise risk management, once again, I picked up from Wikipedia. It says a risk-based approach to managing an enterprise. So it's integral part of managing the enterprise. That's why who is doing it at the top level. Integrating concepts of internal control, the Sarbanes-Oxley Act. Some people at least would understand that. Data protection and strategic planning. Directly linked with strategic planning. That's why any organization. And I'm saying even we individuals are organizations. The principles that we have been discussing are equally applicable in our personal lives also. This slide is very important. And again, I could have spent a couple of hours on this one slide only. The depth of risk management. The case that I'm picking up is, which is quite current now, even if 2 hours, two plus years have gone, the COVID-19 pandemic. COVID-19 pandemic was a risk, happened. What was the mitigation? Lockdowns were announced by governments. Now what happens is, and that's what we need to keep in mind when we are saying the art, we are learning the art of managing risk, that you manage a risk, but that management of the risk can give rise to another risk. And that's what I'm attempting to show in this on this screen. Lockdowns were mitigation. That action was taken by the governments, but that created a risk. What was the risk? The loss of business and livelihoods. How did we manage? The organization said we will work from home most. Right? There were some jobs, some functions that still had to continue from office only, but greatly anyone, everyone across globe worked from home. That was the mitigation. But that mitigation once again gave rise to many risks, not one, many risks. Work from home is not easy. I have done studies, analysis, and reports on that. We don't have time to discuss all that in detail today. First risk of physical security and information security. The arrangements of office cannot be achieved at home. Nowhere in the world. It's not you and me, not your organization and my organization. It also produced fatigue, stress. Was it legal? Is it legal? Because your home becomes the extension of the office. So all the rules and regulations and policies applicable in office become applicable at home also. Will we pass? Who? How many? I'm not sure. So I'm giving legality also. And there was so many discussions about lifestyle change and then people growing thick, including myself, perhaps I'll admit that. So many risks. By managing one risk, which was loss of business, mitigation was to work from home, gave rise to so many risks. What mitigations? Either for all or for some, done by some companies or all companies. They were code of conducts written or rewritten. NDAs written or rewritten or signed once again, because the one you signed 35 years ago when you joined the company, you might have forgotten. There is something that you need to be reminded when you have started working from home. So that is taking care of this code of conduct, and NDA is taking care of the physical security, information security portion. Also, some portions could be automated and some policies might have been changed by some companies. Later on, when it started opening up, so I have written return to office here in column 2. What is the risk? Virus spread due to proximity. What is the mitigation? Safe separation distance. which gives rise to another risk. What is that? Reduced manpower in the office due to reduced cost effectiveness. I have less people, I have to produce same quality. How do I do that? Virus spread through surfaces, increased sanitation will be the mitigation, but that means increased cost of doing business. So here's a self-check. Please do not mind. This shouldn't be shame, but the amount of sanitizers that we saw in different places, offices, shops, malls, our own office. Is it the same? First is amount, second is the usage also. Perhaps we all have also stopped using as much as we were using at that time. So first, cost increased. Now effectiveness it has reduced. That is another risk because we are not using the sanitizers now. Quarantine was required if I was suspected, if I was found to be positive, which would mean loss of productivity is a risk, which would mean increased cost of products and services, which means the risk is reduced profits. So repeatedly, I'm saying we manage one risk, there is a possibility of another risk coming into picture, and then we need to look at that as well. The last one, I'm going fast on this. As I said, I could have explained a lot with examples, numbers, also data as well. I could have taken 2 hours on this just one slide. What I'm discussing is the depth of risk management. So when people would be sick, again, we are looking at the organization. Well, perhaps the concept could be applied in our personal lives also. Increased medical costs. That's the risk. Mitigation covered through insurance. We know at least in India, initially there was a challenge. Existing insurance policies perhaps wouldn't cover COVID-19 pandemic infection, and then the regulator IRDA has to issue special instructions that the companies would have to respect that also. If I was suspected, you would say, Daman, stay at home for about 15 days or so. Don't come to office. Right? Who would pay for it? You are forcing me to stay at home. I feel I am okay. In the past, so many times I had cough, cold, fever, and I went to office. Now you're saying, Daman, you have symptoms, don't come to office. Or you have been found positive, don't come to office. Ethical question also, by the way, that is also another risk linked with this. When I was sick at home for 15 days, were you expecting me to be working or not working? No need to give the answers. These are the questions for introspection. Go back and check within your organizations. But up to 70% people in a pandemic, up to 70% people may be sick off for 15 days. Multiply these with the average daily salary. That is the amount of financial exposure to the company, which company was prepared and can do even today, tomorrow, if pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, it has not gone, or any other pandemic of that scale happens again. So this is very serious point, by the way, when we are discussing the last block. Next question, quickly. Again, you have to type in the answer. I request maximum people, all people to do that, please. Are you aware of WEF, World Economic Forum Global Risks Report? 4 options. You have to answer only, type in only the number. 1, yes. 2, yes, and I have been using this. 3, no. 4, never heard of this. Fingers quickly, some physical activity in the webinar. Answer, may I request your help again, please?
So Rajesh Rajan says 1 and Anil says 2.
Great. I'll wait for a few more seconds.
Suhita is saying 3. Manish is saying 3. Prab Simran is again saying 3.
Thank you very much. Moving on.
Anisha is 4.
All right. Okay. Next question on screen. According to you, what will be top risks in 2022? This time you have to type in, and you can type in as many as you wish. You believe. Top risks. Again, not all risks. I'm saying top risks according to you, either in personal life or in organizational life, for your city, for your country, for the globe.
Hi, could you repeat the question? I just had a little internet issue. Now it's okay.
Right. What will be the top risks in 2022, according to
Um,
you?
okay.
We are
I'm
at half of the year. Yes, please.
Yes. I'm strictly talking from the point of view of my husband. He's a stockbroker, and
All right.
the market has been so volatile, and everything, all our lives depend on the economy.
Yes.
Whether it's 100 rupees kilos tomato or whether it is big crores of money lost in
Yes.
stock exchange. So
Yes.
everything related to that.
Good. Agreed. So financial turmoil, you are saying, is the top risk.
Yes.
But you could have said few more. I'm saying top risks. Anyone else can add? You can type in the chat box also, and I'll request Ansha once again to help me.
Good evening, Daman.
Yes, please. Rajesh, I
Yeah,
can recognize the
so
voice.
I've identified three top risks.
Okay,
One is of cyber security.
right.
Second is attrition,
Attrition, right.
and third is climate change.
Climate change as well. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I can wait for one more response. No, yes, please.
I feel even political, everything in India is really a turmoil. We don't know
Okay,
where are we heading.
okay. Understood. Political scenario, instability, etc.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Data security
Data security. Yes, I also agree.
and privacy,
And say that again, please.
and privacy of an individual.
Privacy also. All right. Okay. Privacy of the individuals. Is it better in the office or is it better at home? Privacy of the individual.
See, the data is circulating, so that's why the privacy is also at threat. So
Right. Understood. Good. So why did I ask this question? Because I claim that I'm a mind reader. I had read your minds, even if we are sitting perhaps 100,000 kilometers apart from each other, some of us. So let's see what I already had put on the slides, and you become the judges and tell me how good mind reader am I. I'm taking this from World Economic Forum report. So it's not my mind. I have taken it from somewhere else, right? So no big achievement from me. I'm just making use of a resource that is available. And that's once again is a good point in learning the art of managing risks. Using a resource that is available. So according to this report, top is social cohesion erosion. Second is livelihood crises, which could be because of attrition. That's possible, right? And mental health deterioration. By the way, these three came out of work from home mainly. That's a big risk, by the way. It's a business continuity arrangement should have been for a short period. By chance, COVID-19 pandemic period has continued for long, still continues, and some of us, many actually, have started saying that work from home is new norm or hybrid is new norm. Hybrid means work from home or work from anywhere, if you want to use that word also. But there are more challenges associated with these. So we need to, when we are talking of risk management, we need to go to the second level also, if not to third, fourth, fifth, as you were seeing in that screen. So this is from the report. What I'm showing here is some risks that have become worse during COVID-19 pandemic. And these three we see at the top here. Social cohesion erosion, livelihood crises, and mental health erosion. Due to time, I'm not going deep into these. Just reading itself will give us some ideas. Climate change, someone had said, so I believe I'm reading your mind. cybersecurity, digital inequality, infectious diseases, backlash against science, debt crisis. Someone talking about the financial crisis, biodiversity, interstate relations, fractures, state collapse, terrorist attacks. See, what do we see? Terrorist attack. Maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, that was quite a top. It is coming down. And this is once again is part of managing risk that it's not one-time activity. We need to review this over a period. Good practices once in a year or whenever significant changes have happened for or in your organization. Pollution in NCR, in India, specifically in NCR, pollution seems to be a big challenge, but that is only for 3 months. This is for the whole year. It seems it is there, but at little lower. These three, data security, I'm adding physical security also, according to me, are quite important. The most severe risks on a global scale over next 10 years. Again, from the same report, World Economic Forum. This report is published every year and is available to us all free. That's I'm making use of this report again and again in this session. Climate action failure, extreme weather, biodiversity loss, social cohesion erosion, livelihood crisis, infectious diseases, human environmental damage, natural resource crisis, debt crisis, and geo-economic confrontation. I'm not sure whether the current one, the big one that we see is Russia and Ukraine, that falls in 10th. Maybe by the time this report was generated, that crisis had not started yet. So next edition may show, right? A bingo, some of us like bingo, playing bingo. So quickly I'm showing, again, it is not my creation, source is available, but it's good to see. It raises many points in our minds. Especially look at those which I'm highlighting. Rich countries will move from pandemic to endemic phase. Right, wrong, I'm not sure. Ransomware ramps up. This is linked once again. Cybersecurity, cyber attacks, ransomware attacks due to work from home have increased. Climate change is back in the spotlight. Growing influence of ESG factors. ESG is taking a lot of importance in the boardrooms now, which stands for environmental, social, and governance. Increased volatility, onshoring trend continues, interest rates will go up. So once again, financial supply chain disruptions. Again, during COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a lot of focus on supply chain because disruptions increase in that area also. The last one shows geopolitical tensions will flare up. How you can use this bingo card is that you go through these. Some will be more important to you and less important to me. Some others will be more important to you and less important to you. This depends upon the context of the organization. So in risk management also, understanding the context of the organization is very important step. And I'll say one of the first steps. Another source I'm showing from the Institute of Internal Auditors. So the once again is a global report published in 2022. We see cybersecurity appears to be same, but talent management perhaps was not there. One of our participants, Rajesh, is very experienced person, by the way, in the group today. Talent management, he had said attrition, organizational governance, data privacy. Some of us had said, so I believe you will agree. I'm able to read your, I had been able to read your minds to that extent. Economic and political volatility, some of us had said that. Change in regulatory environment, it may happen. In supplier and vendor management. Disruptive innovation. Innovation is good, anyone says, right? But there are some minds which go into disruptive innovation, which is not good. Social sustainability is important, is growing focus or emerging risks. Supply chain disruption keeps coming again and again, and environmental sustainability. In the recent years, some of us, if not all of us, who have paid attention to the meetings that have been happening globally around environment, the risk is not that the temperatures are going up globally. Risk being accepted is that whatever we are doing about that is not effective. We are not doing enough for the environment. So our understanding, our approach in risk management is changing. So I'm saying the art is in identification. That's why I showed you two sources, good sources: World Economic Forum, Global Risk Report, and from Institute of Internal Auditors, once again, a global body. What is coming up? As I said, the first step is to identify all possible risks for you. That I would say is perhaps 30–40% of the work in risk management. Spend a good amount of time on that. So how do you do that? What are your sources? To show here, I'm saying internal discussions. They may be existing risk register, should be in all organizations. Don't worry. If I share my experiences having gone across companies and countries as an auditor, even some large corporates, even today, do not have risk department. Don't be surprised if you say, Daman, there is no risk register, existing risk register. They have the department, but they don't have the risk register. They have the department, they have been certified externally, but the people who are managing risk, so we call them risk champions, for example, department coordinators or first point of contacts for risk management, they have not been trained. So these are the gaps, and that itself becomes a risk. See, we established a risk management department to manage risks, but because they have not been trained themselves on risk management, that is a risk in itself. So identification is very important. I'm just showing you steps, various ways. You can attend webinars like this one or any other summits, conferences. There are so many different names to be taken. You may look at consultants, internal as well as external, or advisors, people like me, or there are so many. There are big companies also that do this. Then this report, World Economic Forum, PCI, some of us would understand, if not all, Business Continuity Institute, headquartered in UK, but the members are across globe. I'm a fellow of PCI. They publish Horizon Scale Scan report, and there are many such organizations that would publish Horizon Scan reports, and those are the good starting points in identification. You may like to buy books on risks, or you could go through blogs. So that's internet is a good source, while we need to be careful also, I'll say that, with respect to Google or internet. Supply chain disruption, it has happened. If it has happened, that would give you the source of identification. And advisories, like there are companies like MidCat, I'm saying one example just, but there are many like that. There are specialized companies, organizations, consultancies that are doing this work, and you can take help from them in identification. While talking of risk management, I couldn't complete my discussion without talking about this, because this is something different that has happened in our country. To my knowledge, perhaps the only one country where the highest person from the political scenario or arena or department might have talked of business continuity last year, last year, sorry. In his address to the nation on 6th April, he had talked. He said all ministries should develop business continuity plans. What has happened after his call, the effectiveness of that call, I'm not sure immediately, but I have been writing to him. I'm reminding all. Even if his call was for the ministries, actually all organizations must implement business continuity, within which risk management is an integral part. That's why I have just brought in this one slide, that this country has done great, that the top person has talked about it. The question for you is, again, type in the chat box, please. What should be the effect of such call by the Prime Minister of a country? Your options: this is just a political stunt by any government. Call is for the ministries, so they should develop BC plans and risk management plans. Option 3 is this is a wake-up call for all the countries. All organizations must implement BCM. And number 4 says only large corporates need BCM. You can speak if you wish, or you can type in your responses in the chat box. I request maximum participation, please.
Hi, Daman. I think it's only 3 over here.
You're saying 3? Yeah, you can select only one. Good, you're saying 3. Anyone else, please? And Anshav, if you can please help again, looking at the chat box if people are typing in. The reason I brought in, I'm repeating. Yes, Anshav.
Mostly the trees. One is
Mostly
two.
3. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. If we agree, if we understand, we need to go back with this message. This is the action point out of the event today. In my personal life, in my organization, I need to implement BCM, for which I need to do or I need to implement, use, improve risk management also. Because there are some organizations who would say, Daman, we have been doing risk management for 30 years. It's decades old story for us. Yes, good, very good. Do not stop, please. And no one is perfect in this world. If you start believing any organization that we have done enough, that becomes a risk in risk management then. So keep improving upon that. People would ask me after this about 40 minutes, 45 minutes of discussion. So Daman, what is the way forward according to you? And that's what I'm attempting to say now on this slide. Start with risk management, please. Even if you have decades old journey, continue with it. Keep improving. Move to enterprise risk management, which in many organizations is also known as IRM, integrated risk management. Today, Daman, that's an old story for us. Move to governance, risk and compliance. Daman, GRC is also very well established. Great. You are a great organization. Please do not stop. Keep doing this, all these 3 activities, and keep improving on these. Move on to business continuity management. Many would have implemented this also, but we know there are gaps. So do this now, please. Move to operational resilience management and ultimately organizational resilience management. That's the biggest umbrella. I commit that I'll come back. We'll talk about business continuity management also. We'll talk about operational resilience management, operational risk management also, and we'll talk of organizational resilience management as well. For each, I'll request about 1 hour at least. So how do we move them on? And then I give 4-step approach, understand the concept, run an assessment to see the current position, where do you stand? Sometimes it's known as a gap analysis. Draw an implementation plan. Good if you can follow a standard, if a standard is available. So risk management, ISO 31000 is available, and then start. Yesterday was the best time, which perhaps some of us have missed. Today is the next best time. Let's start. No one is perfect. So don't worry about being perfect. No one is perfect in this world. Keep improving, for which we will have to measure also. That's why I say start, measure, and improve. Very important points. While closing, this is a poem about risk. So perhaps you would be surprised, Daman. Risk and poem do not go hand in hand. At left-hand side, I'm showing what the poet said. At right-hand side is a little commentary by me. To laugh is to risk appearing the fool, the poet said, and I'm saying you must laugh though. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. Weeping helps letting it out. This is the weight of the pressure cooker that lets it out. These are my commentaries in purple color at right hand side. To reach for another is to risk involvement, but this is also collaboration, which is part of organizational resilience. Expose your feeling is to risk exposing your true self. Be your true self though. To place your ideas, your dreams before a crowd is to risk their loss. You all have this tendency, my idea, my creation. How do I share with you all? This is a risk we feel. The most foolish idea, I say, is the one that does not come out and is not tested. To love is to risk not being loved in return. We don't love because we fear we wouldn't be loved in return. Love if you feel like to love. Simple, I'm saying keep it simple and love what you do. To live is to risk dying. Death is inevitable though. Live to your full potential. To believe is to risk despair. It, it's give and take story. If you don't believe others, others won't believe in you. As simple as that. To try is to risk failure, but the failure is the key to success. So you must try. But risk must be taken because the greatest hazard in life is to risk nothing. I agree, but know your appetite. I've not touched upon a term called risk appetite. When you do risk management, we need to understand that also quickly. Losing 5 rupees may be hurting me. Rupees, losing 500 rupees may be hurting to you. So that is our risk appetite. 5 rupees for me, 500 for you. The people who risk nothing, do nothing, have nothing, are nothing. I agree. Be something as something is better than nothing. They may avoid suffering and sorrow, but they cannot learn, feel, change, grow, love, live. Build personal resilience by managing risks. Resilient people make resilient organizations. This is my writing once again. A risk managing, learning, and continually improving organization is a resilient organization. Again, my words. Chained by their attitude, they are slaves. They have forfeited their freedom. Use your attitudes positively to become resilient, is what I say. Only a person who risks is free, the poet said. And I said, let us move from political freedom to financial, mental, physical freedom. And once again, quickly, through Bringle platform, we are attempting that through the Mission Zero Unemployment. We are looking at the financial freedom of the country. Wanted to touch upon the upcoming course. Platform is Bringle. As I'm saying, this is my first delivery from this platform. 1 day certified risk management professional course. It's on next Saturday, full day course, 9:30 to 5:30. And link will be provided upon registration. It will be an instructor-led online training, which means wherever we are, we can attend from there. We are not doing it physically. Quick agenda in front of you. I'll wait for a few seconds. I'll not read it. And slide 2 on agenda.
So for
Yes, please.
for everybody else, you can also go to bringleacademy.com and you can find out this course link over there on the main page itself. But anyway, we'll officially send you an email with the more details and benefits to you.
Thanks, Ansham. Thank you very much. As any other course that I have designed and developed and I deliver, it's fully hands-on in 1 day. There are 15 exercises of different types that I'll do with you all. And there's a lot of learning. This is a practical more than theoretical. Who should attend this course? Equally good for students, professional parents, faculty, employers, entrepreneurs, administrators, leaders. I'm saying because all of us have risk. All individuals in personal official roles. Anyone who first wants to judge the water before going deep, there is a 3 days course which is known as specialist course in risk management, top and middle management of any company. All those who need to be aware of risks or risk management, and specifically those who are involved in their organizations in risk management, BCM, quality, environment, information security, physical security management, etc. Quickly, key features of this course is a certified risk management professional course, designed, developed, delivered by yours truly, certified international and corporate trainer, 15 exercises to keep it interactive and involved and hands-on. Additional reading materials supplied, lifelong learning. I'll say at the end of this session, I said in the beginning, session finishes in next 10 minutes or so. Learning sharing is forever. Similarly, the course will finish at around 5:36 on Saturday, 11th June. Learning sharing is forever. Stay in touch with me and ask any questions. Certification is by Bringle UK India. If we look at the cost, the base price is 10,000 rupees, Indian rupees per participant, but special inaugural discount I'm offering is 50% because it's through the Bringle platform. A special Bringle student discount is to the tune of 75%, and all participants will receive my book, My Experiment with BCM, personally signed and dispatched. And 100% money back guarantee if you're not satisfied. Conditions apply. The only condition is that you need to be with me for the day. After that, at the end of the day, if you say, Daman, I was not satisfied, 100% money back guarantee. The last question, which actually I want to share a link with
One
you
more
all.
announcement, Daman.
Yes,
One
please.
more announcement. Everybody will, whoever will attend this, will also get a free copy of our book, Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao. So that's an announcement from me.
Great. Thank you very much. That's very good. Thank you very much. If you want to have a look, I can actually now unshare my slide because the next slide is thank you very much and questions. But I wanted to ask this question through a poll, and I would like to share the link in the chat box. I request everyone to respond there, please.
Guys, I will need your support. So please ask your questions. I'll also need 10 minutes to share something with you very important because we all of us are working towards transforming India into a self-sustainable economy. So let's wait for that. So please don't leave the session. I know we are delayed, but if you could just hold in for another 10-15 minutes, that would be really great.
We had committed certificates to all participants. Please do not worry. We will send another link asking for a little more feedback, and your certificates will be generated automatically at that time. That will happen on Monday at the most. Won't be delayed beyond that.
Okay, so most of the people are answering one, Daman. There is one, two answer. Dr.
I'm
Meghna
seeing
Smith.
that. Yes. Yeah. Great. Thank you very much. But I'll request response from all on this question, and we'll be happy to share the information with you all.
So please feel free to ask any questions you may have for Daman about the course, about the webinar, about risk management, anything you have a thought or a question, feel free to ask that. The floor is all yours.
And you can speak, you can write, whichever way you wish to you. I'm monitoring the chat box now myself. It seems no questions coming up. So I'm repeating, even if you have a question in mind later on, please feel free to write to me. Finding me is very easy. damandev.sood at bringleglobal.com or dvdsood@hotmail.com, whichever you want to write. WhatsApp if you are connecting on WhatsApp, LinkedIn if you are connecting on LinkedIn, whichever way you wish to write, response is guaranteed. Will the certificate be sent on email? Yes, it will be sent on email. Yes.
So Anisha, all the registrations, all the participants who have registered for this webinar, they'll be shared the recording of the link with on emails with a Google form which you need to fill up as a feedback. As soon as you submit the feedback, you will automatically receive your certificate and the professional credit which Daman has been talking about will be given on that certificate to you on your email ID. It is instantaneous.
So we have seen 3 questions coming up, Anshav, so please allow me a few minutes. I won't go deep, but at least want to answer because respecting those people who have asked the question. 2 questions. Please share your views on risk management in education. And it's an educationist asking this, I know that. With due respect, that's a gap, actually not done very well, but we are attempting when we are going to work on this mission. We are going to work with all relevant interested parties. So students, parents, faculty members, institutes, colleges and universities, and mentors like us will work together. So we need to improve upon that. Yes, there is a gap with respect to risk management in the education sector. One, we would say, once again, we know anyone blindly will say employability is a challenge in India, in across globe, by the way. But in India, we would say we are doing this based on the research. We are coming out with the facts, and it's coming out that way. That's first step when we admit. Next question was difference between ERM and ORM. I would say reasons not understood by me, even by me, I would say. Why do we keep creating so many different terms? Operational risk management, specifically in BFSI sector, because we say there are some operational risks. I'm saying all risks. BCM has to take care of all risks. Risk management has to take care of all this. As simple as that to me. But if you have more resources, we want to do a little better, we can create different departments and we can create different streams of managing. Operational risk will be managed by operational risk department. Business continuity risk will be managed by business continuity department. We can say that. So I hope those two questions answer helped you. Thank you very much. And I'll hand it over to Anshav looking at the time. Thanks, Anshav.
Thank you so much, Daman, and thank you so much for a wonderful session. In fact, in fact, just going through few, your sessions, and I have also learned a lot. Coming from a process excellence or a Lean Six Sigma background, I've seen these challenges coming in into organizations, and risk management is becoming one of a very important topic. And I specifically liked your idea and thought about not just about physical security. It is not about business losses, but also about cyber security now. It is getting too much deeper as a problem at this point in time. A lot of you have, been kind of messaging on Facebook or LinkedIn that my account is hacked. Please don't respond to these messages. These are not being sent by me. These have
Yes.
become very common nowadays. I have seen few of the instances where people have started literally hacking your WhatsApp accounts, adding themselves into the groups where they should not be there, sending some content which is not relevant or even maybe very obscene or not in it is completely inappropriate. So these are very small. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There are bigger challenges coming in, and we cannot avoid these risks in future because the technology is changing it at a very very rapid pace, and it is going to continue. It has accelerated in last 2 years. The work which was supposed to happen in the next 30 years, now you will find that happening in the next 8 to 10 years. And that's the difference which you will see in technology. So cybersecurity becomes a very, very important aspect. And just for our good information, there are more than 2.5 million jobs are going to be created in only in cybersecurity alone. And this is where, which is where, the lot of things our youth and children has to be be ready, future ready for these kind of jobs. So without taking much of the time, first of all, I would like to, kind of thank you, all of you, to be part of this session or thing. Now, let me just
Anshav,
give you.
can we request them to, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say switch on the camera and then we'll take a photograph. I thought you had finished, but continue,
Yeah, if
please.
we can do that, I think we can do that first before I start. I'll need 10 minutes to share this presentation and share our thoughts to them. But if everybody, each of you can switch on your camera, we can quickly take a photograph.
Four cameras required, please. Yeah, great. I like this way. Thank you very much. Yeah,
Yeah, so on the count of 1, 2, 3.
best smiles, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. If you want to go off camera, you can definitely go for that. Be comfortable in your own space. Uh, Okay, so now why we are doing this? I mean, these are the free webinar series which we are doing. And as Daman mentioned, we at Bringle, UK and India are working towards Mission Zero Unemployment. Our first objective right now is to work towards India, transforming India into a self-sustainable and financially independent economy, leading to zero unemployment. And we are looking at working towards adding, making India or transforming India into a $5 trillion economy as per our government's vision of 2025. And we have just launched a book called Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao with 23 co-authors who have contributed their heart out how we could transform India to and bring that glory back. We were called as Sone Ki Chidiya, a golden bird. But due to the invaders, we have lost that glory. And the attempt with this book is to reach out to all Indians. And with their help, we would be able to bring our glory back. Just for your information and on records, India was the number one economy in the first century. And they were there. We were India and China were leading the global world, global scenario till 10th century. So for almost 1,000 years, we have literally ruled the world. But suddenly, a lot of invaders started coming in, and we were really stripped of our glory. And that's the attempt with this book, Kone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao. You can go at bringleglobal.com and pre-book your copy right now. The synopsis is also available right now. As soon as you book the copy, you will get a synopsis of that book immediately. Uh, Anyways, all the participants will get the synopsis of e-synopsis of the book on your email ID along with the feedback form. Now, what we are working towards is it's a global vision 2020-2030, where we are looking at transforming 1 billion lives, 1 million businesses, and 100 unicorns with an investment of $1 billion. What we are looking at is developing our world's largest cross-border inclusive and patented virtual skills development center and skills bank. It's a complete autodidactic, which is a self-paced program, mentor-free platform, and a proctored blockchain platform with using components of Metaverse University, making it as a edu fintech platform. Now it has a benefits to everybody, be it customers, investors, mentors, because now you will be able to generate your own NFTs in our NFT Bringleverse NFT marketplace and generate passive income in future. I'll talk a little bit more about it, but before that, let me just give you a little update on what is Bringle. A lot of people have been asking me, Ansha, what is this Bringle? What is this Bringle moment? All that about you keep talking. And let me tell you, happy Bringling. So Bringle is a coin word which is brain plus tingle, which basically you get that tingling sensation, that romte khade hone wala feeling in your mind, body, and soul when you achieve your, great ideas with your exemplary effort. Something you have found out really good, you have transformed yourself and found that achievement of, satisfaction. And that gives you that feeling of tingling sensation. That's what Bringle is all about. And whenever you have something in your life, please hashtag and share your story with Bringle Moment. Hashtag Bringle Moment. And I would want to publish your story to our Bringle Academy platforms and share your story to the entire globe. This is what we would want to do, and we want to bring in more and more stories about yourself. The whole problem what we are facing right now with respect to employment crisis, one is we have a low employability rate apart from just low employment numbers. There are so many jobs available, new jobs are coming up, but 90% of the youth which are coming into the ecosystem are not employable. People feel that they're not getting job. Just a request, if you are not talking, can you please put yourself on mute? All of you, please. Uh, Sharmila, can you put everybody on mute, please? Thank you. Okay, so we are running with our age-old education system, 200 years old back when the Britishers came in. They actually put in this education system for us, and they themselves are struggling for this today. Because the way education system is being set up, it is built for developing robots, developing to do the same industrial work again and again and again and again without applying their mind. And that is where we are struggling at this point in time. The another big problem we are going to face with respect to the skills crisis, the way industry is changing, the way technology is coming up, we are going to generate new digital skill sets which are not even defined yet properly. There are 7 futuristic digital skill sets, right from technology to growth marketing to data analytics to blockchain. And these are available at bringleacademy.com website. You can check it at the footer side of it. What are these 7 futuristic digital skill sets? The Gurukul system used to train on 50 plus skill development programs, and it has been completely vanished. There were more than 2,200,000 Gurukuls in India, which were completely destroyed by Britishers. I don't know how many of you are aware, but that were destroyed by them. Lot of our, architectural or lot of our, information or knowledge base was completely burnt, and that is why we are finding they were completely replaced by the Britishers model over there. And we are still struggling to figure out and find out our own strengths, even though we find all Indians across the globe doing wonders. Lack of resources, we are still not financially sustainable. We are dependent on a lot of external money. In fact, as per the data in 2019, more than $60 billion were invested in India, but only 10% was invested by the Indian billionaires in India by that time. I'm talking about startups and small businesses, which means that our own companies are also not ours. They're owned by some foreign nationals, and many of them were Chinese. There was a lot of work which has been done by the government in the last couple of years to throw these Chinese investors or Chinese companies out of the ecosystem, focused on making India products and things like that, which is giving some benefits to us right now, including recent case with respect to Paytm, where their IPO was launched. And as soon as the IPO was launched, 40% of the Chinese investors, the 40% of the investment which was done by the Chinese investors had literally moved out of the ecosystem, stripped out the financial economy. And it became a major crisis for all of us. It's another big crisis which we are going through. Apart from that, our neighbors are facing crisis. They are all in debts. Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal is getting a lot of debt from China. Bangladesh is coming up with such problems. Afghanistan. You see, any country today, most of it is being indebted by China today. And the way they are engulfing, if we don't make ourselves super successful, super powerful, and financially free today, we may lose our freedom as well. As what mentioned by Daman, physical freedom. So we need to make ourselves as a financially free. Otherwise, there will be a chance that we will maybe again face a crisis which may take years together or maybe centuries together to really overcome that. With this, we are looking at Bringle vision statement as zero unemployment. We are looking at two aspects at this point in time. This is a two-way approach, I would say. One is at one point in time, we are developing an employability enhancement and entrepreneurship development of the youth and our children, which is currently 54% of the population, which is we are sitting at a very good demographic advantage today, because these are the people who are going to be in the working force for the next 30 years. And that is where we could add a lot of value to our country on that. It is around 760 million plus people or population, around 260 million plus youth and 500 million plus children. If we focus on them, if we focus on making them future ready, I am sure India will become a superpower on that. And that is why this Mission Zero Unemployment is all about. How do we solve this problem? It's a 3 E's approach. We are focusing on bringing excellence in 3 E's: education, employment, and entrepreneurship, and developing the world's largest virtual university in the form of Metaverse, which will have a complete self-paced program, but it is a very personalized program for everybody. And that is where it works out on that model. And from there, the first aspect is we have worked on from 2020 to 2022 to develop the complete entrepreneurship ecosystem, work with various angel firms, venture capitalists, startup groups, startups. We have supported more than 15,000 entrepreneurs by now in the last 2 years, and we are continuing it further. So we are looking at supporting startups and MSMEs with our Design Your Unicorn methodology. making them investable, sustainable, and profitable so that they can generate more jobs for our countries and provide skilled candidates to them. So that is what our one approach. The second thing is about we are going to the schools and colleges, to the colleges specifically, and working and creating skill development centers. We have divided India into 5 zones: Central India, East, West, South, and North. And we are signing up contracts with each of these multiple universities in each different zones. With already we have been doing this work for the last 6 months, and we have got some MOUs signed up, and we are signing up further MOUs on that and working with them to make them industry ready. And we'll be providing them corporate grooming programs so that they are more skilled candidates and they'll be ready in the next 3 to 5 years. The another aspect is our children, which is 500 million plus children. So we are going to work with schools and parents. We have tied up with few Finland-based companies and some entrepreneurship development companies who are supporting on us, where we work on developing, identifying their core competence and creating a career plan for them and helping them to take them into their journey for the next 8 to 10 years and upskill them on the 7 futuristic digital skill sets, out of which 50% of them are not even defined properly yet. So we'll be working along with the person by identifying their core competence, grooming them or developing them holistically in the area of their expertise and their desire, and then accordingly making them fit into the job which really belongs to them. And that is the approach which we are looking at to make it as right people with right skills at the right place. Uh, Believe me, everything starts from you. So you don't have to do anything, just focus on yourself. And that is where our Know Yourself campaign comes all about. You can also check bit.ly link as know-yourself, or you can go at bringleacademy.com and click on Know Yourself tab and know about yourself. Remember, knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is. Unless you are able to apply that knowledge has no benefits around that. That's what we have seen, what we go through for the 20-25 years of education. We don't really apply that knowledge. We're not able to apply that because that academics has not made us really holistically transformed. And that is where it is important for you, for each of us, to know about soft skills and life skills as well. Now, and apart from that, how we could leverage the industry or the domain expertise, how the industry is changing. And that is where I'll just give you this example. And this is a quick test for all of you. Okay. And please keep a tab on the chat box. You can just tell me which box you are in onto this. So the first, ask yourself, how much do you know really about yourself? So one is, I possess these strengths and weaknesses, have certain proof of it. Reality, that is a reality that I know about. So like in Daman case, he knows about risk management, knowledge. I am totally aware about my strengths and weaknesses. Am I aware about my strengths and weaknesses or not? It's a little perceptive question, but you will get some answers on that, and nothing is wrong and right. It is only for you. You can just think about it and give an answer which you feel is right at this point in time. You can put it into the chat window. And the number starts from yes, the knowledge is there. That is the reality. So I know what I know, which is, of course, a green zone. But I know what I don't know, it's also good because at least you will work towards it and get into that. But if you are into this segment where I don't know what I know and I don't know what I don't know, that's the most difficult state in the world. Think about yourself and answer this for yourself. Maybe you can put it into the chat window. I'll just hold on for 1 minute out here. If you could just put in, you can say one for I know what I know, and you can go clockwise from I know what I know to I don't know what I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can just put in 1, 2, 3, 4 in the chat window. Okay, I am not going to name anybody who is putting in there, but I think you've got an idea what you have to do. You can also go through, this is our 3-way approach by which we are realigning the entire ecosystem. These are our current traction with respect to the universities, colleges, experts, and the learners community which we have. We are looking at increasing this learners community from 1 million to a 1 billion in the next 8-10 years out there. The three-way approach: one, we do the skills profile, then we work with on holistic skills development, and then finally we support you on aligning to the right job. Now, these jobs could be from anything. It could be employment, it could be self-employment, it could be business owner, it could be investors on that. Unleash Your Own Powers workshop. It's completely free. So if you want to know yourself, get a little idea about your skill sets, what you can possess, and things like that, you can just go on the Know Yourself tab on that, and you will get this workshop for free and complete this workshop so that you will understand more about yourself. It's a self-explanatory. There is a detailed video out there and some exercises which you can do it for yourself. If you need further help from that, there are further packages available where we will help you to know yourself in more detail with our expert. It's a one-on-one mentoring or support which we will provide, helping you to empower yourself by developing your soft skills and life skills and transform yourself, where we support with your industry related and make you industry related as well. Now, you could be an employee, you could be a self-employed, you could be a business owner, or maybe you're looking for investments. So in any case, we will support. There are very other courses which are available on the platform. You can go on the all programs tab there. Why I'm working on this? My own story. Wanted to become an astronaut, wasted 2 years in the medical entrance examination, eventually joined engineering, but still not working as an engineer today. And had a good, got my first job in corporate sales. Tried going back to engineering so that, I could leverage my engineering skills, but that found out to be the biggest mistake. Before and then I grew myself into operational excellence field in 16 times in just 11 years, becoming the youngest vice president in a global MNC and earning the highest amount of salary at the age of 34 years. And then another bust, I lost my job. And when I look back today in my entrepreneurship or investment journey, what I realized is that I've lost 21 plus ideas, tried 21 plus ideas in 21 plus years, lost 7 businesses in 7 plus years, around $500,000 of my own investment or savings, and transformed then loss making business Bringle into $100 million global startup today. This is our plan from 21 weeks to 21 years, where we are working on Mission Zero unemployment till August. And after that, we will start focusing on creating a more know yourself and campaigns and helping out more and more people across the globe. Competency-based learning, where it will be a blockchain-based model, and then the Metaverse University. Eventually, we will have a more self-paced platform where a lot of mentors, 100,000 plus mentors, will be working with us to develop the content within that Metaverse University platform. These are some of our achievements from the book perspective or a Mission Zero unemployment and the virtual skill development center, which we are working upon. And, where we have got 111 plus free bookings in just 21 plus days. And we have got some few forwards as well from political and business leaders. We are also have reached out to Prime Minister, Home Minister, and various chief ministers, and even some international organizations out there. Now, with this, could I ask for some Guru Dakshina out here? Yes, no? So if you could unmute yourself and just say yes or no, that will also be perfectly fine with me.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So this entire series of webinars are going to be absolutely free. We'll be conducting webinars on all 3 E's: education, employment, and entrepreneurship. And this will be a continued practice either in the colleges, schools, or in the B2C or the normal, open webinars, which we'll be doing. Now, I will need only 3, and I don't want to put you in a problem. So depending on your time availability, depending on your capacity in terms of money, you can contribute into this. So the first way you can do it, just be as a contributor. It's a one-time support. You can just buy our book, whose actual price is 1,200 rupees, which is Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao. And 100% of these profits are going to be towards the Mission Zero unemployment. That's the short form of MZUN is the short form of that. And you can go at bringleglobal.com and pre-book your copy today. And if you could, share this with everybody, that would be much more helpful and supportive to you. So if you can't do anything, but at least contribute on this by purchasing a book towards this Mission Zero unemployment, it will be really helpful for those 760 million plus youth and children who are not employable, and they are the future of our country. So that is where we are going to deploy these funds. uh, Goodwill ambassadors. If you have little more time, be there with us as a goodwill ambassador. Focus on sharing the Know Yourself initiative to as many as people. They can just do their Know Yourself score absolutely free of cost on the platform and make them more, aware about themselves, because everything starts from you. So if you can pass on that information to as many as people in your network, that would be really helpful on that and motivate them to further do the same. Connect us to schools, colleges, whom you think that we could add value, work with the children and the youth over there to support them and develop their employability, and enhance their employability and develop entrepreneurial mindset. We'll be happy to do that. Connect us to employers who are who are looking for people, so we can work with them to identify the right job skill sets which they require, and basis on that we can then train and upskill them, those schools, the youth which are available into the country today immediately, which we could bring them onto the job. So connect with them. And if you have some more time and you want to work as full time, please come and join us as entrepreneurs. We'll help you to generate more employment so that we can generate more employment for the country. We'll work you to make investable, sustainable, and profitable. If you're an investor, we will invest in the startups and MSMEs with us. We will ensure that you will get best rate of returns. Returns of interest, or whatever, the returns out there. It could be as high as 3x, 5x, 10x, 20x, or even 100x in the next 8 to 10 years' time. And we will ensure that you will be able to do a principal protection as well. And it starts from a minimum amount of 5.7, around a 5,000 rupees per month, or a bulk amount of 1.5 lakh rupees. If you are a mentor, then please come and join with us for these webinars. We will help you to put your courses on the platform and spread your pearls of wisdom and expertise across the globe. So please register on that. So there are 3 ways if you can do that. You can go at dyu.bringleglobal.com and learn to build, launch, and scale your first unicorn in just 5 days. It's a 5 days program which we do, which I do personally, and I work with entrepreneurs at a personal level and groom them and take them from an idea to a unicorn. And I call this as transform your ideas with Anshav into a unicorn. And that's what the model which we are helping. If you're an investor, go at meet.bringleglobal.com. Go through the webinar which I've spoken about, the multi-trillion-dollar metaverse economy which is building up for the next 8 to 10 years, and where you can really make 100x or maybe 1000x kind of returns in the next 8 to 10 years. There is no limit out there. And how we can protect your investments. Again, it starts from nearly around 5,000 rupees per month investment, like you do it in mutual funds, or with a principal protection guarantee. Also, you could invest at a block money of 1.5 lakh rupees. So that's the minimum ticket size which we look at, which we will be able to help you out. If you want to set up a call with me to know more about it, there is a link on that website, and you can book a call with me directly. And I will discuss and understand your aspects, your personal risk appetite, what is there, and accordingly, I will suggest the best option to you. If you are a mentor, go at bringleacademy.com in the top 100 mentors club domain and on the link, and just apply as a mentor. As soon as you apply as a mentor, within 24 hours, I will approve your profile and you can start uploading your courses. There is a webinar which I am doing it on Tuesday, which is 7th June at 7 p.m. And if you have already received that email, please join that webinar. And if you could deliver your expertise, this is absolutely free of cost. We don't charge anything out here. We will onboard you and the platform to spread the awareness of your pulse of wisdom, because we will not be there forever. I will not be there forever. You will also not be there forever. But there is a lot of knowledge we have acquired over a period of time. I want to bring that, concise that into a platform which can be delivered to the people, to the youth and children, even for the next 30, 50, 100 years over a period of time. So the Bringle Virtual University is going to be that kind of a platform, so that even after we are not there, that knowledge and expertise will keep going to these youth and children who are going to come in future as well, not just now. So that is where we need all of your support. So please come and join our Top 100 Mentors Club community. We'll support you on everything, right from arranging the webinars, courses, how do you manage it, the feedback, everything, certification, and all the verified mentors from Bringle. We will give all the participants of Bringle UK and India certificate as well. So that's a little bit about that. We are integrating 21 plus platforms in one platform, Bringleverse, which will reduce your efforts more than 80%, which you are doing in launching your program. We don't want you to waste your time and energy over there. And that is where we come in into the perspective. We are a little bit on an early stage right now with respect to automations, but we are very soon going towards that. So we will need all of your help to shifting from this offline model to online model, but rather than making it more of a blended learning model. So that's what the model is all about. So I'll just hold on here then, and would be happy to know anything, any questions, any thoughts you have for this, and how would you like to contribute? So looks like there is nothing as such out there. Thank you so much for joining. What I'll do is we will send you an email by Monday. All the participants will get an email by Monday with a recording of this link along with a Google form. You can watch that recording. You can give your feedback, and automatically, immediately, you will get a certificate out there with the CPD or that credit which you will get in for your professional development, and you can utilize it from anywhere out there. I will also send you the links of either as a contributor or as a Google ambassador, or if you want to be part of us as a transformer. Thank you so much, and keep bringing, keep growing.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you.